are wrapping up a fun work week and headed into the weekend looking at more weather impact alerts. We thank you for joining us tonight at 6. I am Hoyt.
And I'm Brooke Buckner in for Journey Taylor. With triple-digit temperatures back in the forecast, we're going to start with weather. Let's bring in meteorologist Nathan Scott for more on what we can expect.
Yeah, how much longer do we have to go before it gets super hot again? And is there anything else on your radar that you're watching tonight?
Well, Rolly and Brooke, yes, we have something concerning happening potentially tonight before we get into that nasty extreme heat once again. There's going to be a weak disturbance that makes its way in here from the northwest, and there's a lot of juice in the atmosphere to produce the potential of locally heavy rainfall. And we do have a flood watch in effect for early Saturday morning through Saturday afternoon. That includes Pulaski County, but especially into southeast Arkansas. And here's the reason behind that. Two different weather models show a similar story. 5 inches in Camden, according to this model, but the other model shows a ½ inch. So what I'm getting at is some locations may see a 1/10 of an inch, but the next county over could see several inches of rain just because of how things will operate. Right now, not too much happening, but that system off to the northwest will produce significant coverage of showers and thunderstorms, it looks like, late tonight into Saturday morning. And these storms don't budge much at all. So you could see torrential downpours for maybe 2 to 3 hours, and that could easily add up to 5, 6, 7 inches of rain in some isolated locations. So that's why that flood watch has been issued once again for late tonight into early Saturday morning. I'll have more on when the extreme heat returns coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you. Pulaski County has seen controversy over 2 planned AI data centers. Now, further south, Grant County is facing a similar situation.
And THV 11's Carter Thweet reports on the plan and why several neighbors are pushing back.
At Monday night's Grant County Quorum Court meeting, County Judge Randy Pruitt revealed the company behind the controversial project.
All I know is we were told and given the name of EdgeConneX.
EdgeConneX's proposed data center would be northeast of Sheridan, in between Highway 167 and Highway 35. Judge Pruitt and Quorum Court member Michael Nevins say for the company to get the tax cut they want, the project needs to be done on the county's terms.
We don't want them to use exorbitant amount of water. We told them if they're going to use millions of gallons of water a year that we wouldn't even consider a tax abatement.
If you take care of all of our key concerns, we'll start at, you've earned 20% abatement. And if you're wanting to get to the 65%, then you're going to have to show us what you're going to do for our community.
But it seems for many residents, the details don't matter. They just don't want a data center near them. Around Sheridan, you can find plenty of signs like these.
We don't want to see all of our trees ripped away just to put in something that 90% of Sheridan ain't even going to use.
Especially here in the South, a lot of people don't see a reason for it here in Grant County.
One of those residents is Brody Chanel, whose backyard is right up against the proposed site.
And this is about, our way of life. It's about being, the quietness of our community, the protection of our community, ensuring that this thing is not going to damage the health of our community.
County leaders promise they'll take those concerns into account.
Grant County's doing just fine without it. If it can come here and do good things for Grant County and not be a big hindrance to Grant County, we'll see what we can come up with.
In Grant County, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Carter. County leaders say EdgeConneX is in a due diligence period that will last 4 or 5 months before negotiations can begin.
And EdgeConneX did not reply to our request for comment. 2 other data center projects the company has in the U.S. are eventually expected to be used by Meta and Microsoft. 3 things to know now. Former Arkansas State Senator Jeremy Hutchison is speaking a year after receiving a presidential pardon. Hutchison saying serving time in federal prison changed the way he sees the criminal justice system. He added that he now supports prison reform and wants to help people successfully re-enter society after their time behind bars. Hutchison pleaded guilty in 2019 to a wide-ranging bribery conspiracy involving a Missouri-based healthcare nonprofit.
And as election season nears, we're learning Democratic nominee Brian Mitchell has dropped out of the race for Lonoke County Sheriff. The contest, of course, received national attention after Aaron Spencer decided he would run while also on trial for murder. That case has since been dismissed, and now that Mitchell has dropped out, voters will decide between Spencer and independent Larry Benke in November.
And the Ten Commandments monument at the state capitol back in the middle of a legal fight. The outcome could set a tone for similar displays across the country.
Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin and the First Liberty Institute are asking a federal appeals court to overturn a ruling that says the monument is unconstitutional and has to come down. The AG argues the judge's ruling conflicts with Supreme Court precedent.
Catherine Rowley is going to bring us more on this story coming up tonight at 10. And we are continuing to follow the outbreak of Cyclospora. And here in Arkansas, the number of cases has doubled in just the last week. According to the health department, the tally now up to 79 confirmed cases since January. 50 of those up there in the corner of the state in Benton County. Across the U.S., epidemiologists say the numbers will only continue to grow because it's so hard to track exactly where in the food system the parasite's getting in.
Might we see more cases of cyclosporiasis related to other exposures? We're definitely going to continue to see more cases. This is a disease that is endemic in many of the places where we get our produce, and this should highlight it to everybody, the importance of food safety.
4 more states have been linked to the outbreak. It's Illinois, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Pennsylvania.
Back to school is just around the corner, but the Pine Bluff School District is still working to move past a challenging year. And after months of controversy, the new interim superintendent is focused on rebuilding trust. THV 11's Tanya Motorzitsky sat down with him to learn more about his plans for the district's future.
Are we thinking about making interim permanent?
I hope so.
Philip Carlock, who's been with the Pine Bluff School District for 5 years, is stepping in as interim superintendent.
And I plan on making sure that I have the best possible year and get our district in the best possible place to make it hard for them to make a different decision.
He's been in the role about a month since former superintendent Jennifer Barbary left at the end of June. And at a time when the district has made headlines.
You kind of walked in a moment of community distrust and questions from parents and, colleagues, and especially with the $3.2 million that was part of a phishing scheme. Where are we with that going into the new school year?
A little bit over $1 million was recovered, and they're still going to continue to pursue after the people who took the money.
The money was put aside to build the new high school, but according to him, the project is way under budget and is still on track to be ready for students after Labor Day weekend this year.
What's your message to families and parents and taxpayers, who are upset still?
Any misconceptions or misunderstandings about how the money was taken from the district, it wasn't anyone internal. It wasn't an internal scam.
Carlock says there are safeguards in place when it comes to emails and the way the district does things now, and wants to ensure the public this won't happen again.
It's the money from the public. It's their school, their money, their district, and they're asking us to be good stewards over it.
And last month, I told you about millions of sensitive records left behind in the district's former administration building downtown.
So you had no idea till my story aired?
No, unfortunately. But my job now is to know. So I appreciate the story. But we as a team, Pine Bluff School District team, we just have to do what's right by the public.
He says a week after the story, he sent the maintenance and operation team to get the documents and properly dispose of them. And moving forward, protecting the public's information.
So our future goal is to make sure that the things that are not useful anymore and that we can legally shred, we're just disposing of those files. And the ones that we need to safeguard and keep, they'll be under lock and key on a district facility.
In Pine Bluff, where he says change, transparency, and accountability are here to stay, I'm Tanya Motorzitsky, THV 11 News.
Tanya, thank you. And district parents who received special education services from 2019 to 2020, the district is destroying those records, or you can pick them up until August 7th. The district goes back to school Monday, August 3rd. A local hospital going above and beyond for their patients. After the break, how Cartide tries to help those in a stressful time with a supportive welcome.
And we have issued a weather impact alert for Monday and Tuesday of next week. The temperatures will rocket up once again to 100 or a little bit higher than that. And those heat indices 107 to as high as 113. I'll let you know how long this heat wave may stick around coming up.
Plus, a hometown hero giving back at home. Jalen Williams joins other local NBA stars back in their old stomping grounds, doing good.